It's good to be back. So, Ethan Nazareth says Limbo for sure. I'm sorry. John Flory says it's Lavos. I hope it was Lavos. I don't have Lavos yet. Cold Fry says, hell yeah, dude. My answer is, hell yeah, dude. So this is Boban, and he has some problems, like taking this much time to armor strip. And also, not every single enemy is armor stripped. In fact, not every single enemy is affected by the CC on his 4. And this is how long it takes for him to cast his 1 completely. And this is how long it takes for him to nuke with his abilities. So yeah, like, I completely get it. And I mean, yeah, you could cast even more shit because you have his 2, which has decent utility. But if the enemies are not armor stripped, it doesn't do much. But this is not doing justice to Boban. Because everything, you can make anything look really good or really bad in a vacuum. So today, I'm not gonna show Boban at the lab. I'm gonna explain the build and the reasoning behind the build, and then I'm just gonna show. I'm just gonna show him in an actual mission. Because he's a lot of fun. Which is really strange because his whole playstyle is built around camping. And I don't like camping in this game. However, I don't like camping in this game because what most people understand by camping is getting a room with a really powerful weapon and a Warframe that can survive and just shooting straight for 1 hour. And that's what they mean by camping. But not with Boban. If you want to play Boban, you need to use his shit. You need to understand the synergies between his abilities and use them to the fullest extent that you can. Because if you don't, you die. And I love that. And I love that. Even if he takes a lot of time to do his job, the fact that he gives you a lot of time to do his job means that he allows you to multitask and be more likely to use other abilities. And again, I don't think this is intentional. I don't think this is intentional design on his kit, but it ends up making him really engaging to play. And I will explain why later, but let's get into the build. So, Boban has some fucking issues. The biggest of which being his ultimate, which is his best ability, because it CCs enemies in a big area, armor strips them, gives that armor to you, and then compresses every single enemy in 1 point and you nuke them. Which is a lot for just one ability to do. This ability has an enemy cap. This enemy cap scales with strength, which means if you want big range with overextended, you're not gonna do that much damage with the rest of his kit. So if you just wanna abuse Bastille, you would need to fully spend on a build laser focus on that. And some people do that. Some people do that for Sanctuary Onslaught and things like that. But I like to use every single ability on him, so I'm not gonna use that. I'm not gonna use that. So he needs some decent range, but it's still not gonna be enough because, yeah, Augur Reach plus Stretch plus Scarring Drift is 90 meters, which is not the best, like clearly, for sure, but it is enough range to give you a zone to work with. You are safe in this zone, because in this zone, most enemies are not shooting at you. And because they are not shooting at you, having adaptation plus climb redirection is really good to survive. And it's also even better because we are using, for the first time in this channel, Arcane Aegis. This effect, which is so little likely to proc, is more likely to proc when your shield is not down all the time because not many enemies are shooting at you, so you'll be getting this all the time. Especially, again, if you're playing in the middle of your Bastille. But then comes the other problem. We're playing on the steel path. So not every single enemy is going to be affected by this because enemies come in absolute stupid hordes. So then you use the rest of your kit to deal with them. And that's what's fun about them, because if you just had to press 4 and forget it, I'm not playing Voban. That sounds like the most boring shit imaginable. But because I need to use Bastille and use the other stuff and multitask, that is engaging. That is engaging. Like looking for which enemy is being affected by your Tesla Nervos, which will get augmented by Tesla Bank, which will make you able to completely fucking nuke rooms of enemies whenever you shoot at the correct enemy, which your Tesla Nervos are bullying at the moment. And also you will find other uses for his Mind Layer, because yeah, you have a damage buff, and that can stack with the passive of Boban's, which is doing more damage to enemies that are CC'd, something that his whole kit does. So you can stack those 2 damage buffs and stack that with the armor strip, and you can kill anything with almost any weapon. But also you need to have good placement of the Flechette Orbs, be it in a choke point, so it CCs enemies and does some damage to them before they come to Bastille, or to actually nuke the enemies around the Bastille. And also, if you're extra anal about it, which I'm not because I don't have enough practice, you could use Tether Coil to get enemies closer to your Bastille, which is really funny. And even if you don't use it for that, it's occasionally just really funny to see enemies swing out of the ceiling. It's really fun. The only thing that I don't like about Voban is Vector Path, because I'm not against meme abilities, but it is a bad meme. The one mine that he had before, the one that made enemies jump, that was a good meme. That was a good meme. This is not a good meme. And of course, Photon Strike, which you could use the augment for. And I want to use the augment for it. There's only one problem. That augment takes a slot, which is no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, but what do I drop? I'm not willing to drop the range, and I cannot get more range with shards. And I'm not willing to lose duration because it's really important. So the only thing that I've managed to think is get enough shards to get the same duration or more duration that he has right now and drop prime continuity. That's what I would do if I wanted to turbo invest on him. Use his other augment too and just use a lot of shards. Also, Energy Siphon, not bad. Not bad, but this is even better, actually, because then it takes less effort for his 4 to completely destroy enemy armor. So, yeah, this is the build. Like, he doesn't need that much strength. He doesn't need that much duration. What he needs is a decent amount of range, and sadly, we cannot get more range unless we want to fuck the rest of the build. But that design problem is what allows me to have fun with him. So, I'm not complaining. And of course, Arcane Energize, because how else are we gonna spam? Yeah, there's other ways to get energy. You could even use the book, but that is black magic, and he's an engineer, and he doesn't believe in shit like that. Even if he's using void energy to kill his enemies with. So yeah. That was a long explanation, but now you're gonna see that he has absolutely no trouble surviving and no trouble destroying everything if you're willing to use his shit. It's good to be back. It's really good to be back. It's been a fucking crazy week. And it's gonna be an... Oh! Wait a minute. Yeah. I'm sorry, Berkai, but this is not a good test. This is not a good test. I forgot to activate the solo. My bad. So again, it's been a fucking crazy week, and this year is gonna be fucking sick. It's gonna be sick. I'll be leaving for a whole week. Around March. I have a good vacation planned. And I have a lot of work to do. Also, I'm using the Steel Prime because it's kind of decent. And it looks steampunk as hell, just like him. So the first thing that we need is to look for a decent room. Like this one, for instance. This is not a bad room at all. And now we can charge our Nervos. And go absolutely to town with the enemies. You can use more than one Bastille, by the way. And yeah, like again, you don't even have to shoot that much. I mean, you certainly have to multitask with him. And from time to time, you need to depend on your guns more because if Arcane Energize doesn't proc, you're kind of fucked sometimes.
Life support incoming.
Let me just drop a tether coil there. I mean, there. He's so satisfying. His tree is not good. It scales with enemy level. Actually, his tree actually scales with enemy level. The problem being, of course, that is not enough in this game. Like, that is actually not enough. Because you don't only need that. You also need for them to be armor stripped, for it to be able to kill enemies. Because magnetic damage is not very good. Although, this Warframe would be really good against Corpus. And I probably should be doing a test against Fortuna enemies or something like that. And his Bastille gives you enough time to cast your shit. And don't worry about it. You can also nuke enemies in a different way because you can go like, okay, let me shoot the enemy that has the Tesla Nervos attached to them. Yeah, no, a lot of enemies get damaged by that. And no enemy is completely safe from you when you play Bowman because they're getting damaged in one way or another. So again, it's a really active playstyle, and you need to keep refreshing your shit. But he can absolutely do it. Like, he can absolutely do it. It's no trouble. Would he be able to camp till really high levels? I don't think so, to be completely honest. I don't think he's able. Of course, Eximus are a big problem for him. You cannot take them... You cannot think of them a joke. Or they will just straight up kill you. So take them seriously. And they'll die. Oh, here comes the boy wonder himself. To get a complete spunking. Let me be funny. Yeah, I'll get the tether coil there. Yeah, and he has no armor now. Get your Tesla Nervos going. And as you can see, you can mostly just forget about the Acolyte. Like, he's gonna be slowly but surely getting damaged. I mean, unless he's one of the acolytes that can deactivate your abilities, in which case you are absolutely fucked. But that is not a Boban problem, that's every single Warframe problem. And of course, what you should be doing is getting life support if you actually want to survive the mission, you know?
This will help our
Which
cause.
I'm not doing.
When you are ready, go to extraction.
Yeah, something like that.
Support levels. Extraction. is
Not
your
even
best
close, baby. But yeah, like, what can I say? I just find him really fun. I just think he's really fucking fun for some reason. Like, the fact that you can... Every single tool he has in his arsenal has some kind of utility. And... Again, you can play another Warframe and just press one button and kill everything. Yeah, you can do that, but... The fact that he actually is able to do the job... If you put the work in, you're gonna make it slower than other Warframes. Yeah, for sure. Like, you're gonna be slower. He can actually do it. He can actually do it, and that's what I love about him. And again, because you have an enemy cap on his 4, that means you cannot just ignore every single enemy. You actually need to think.
Extraction is ready.
You actually need to refresh your shit, place the shit in places which are the most useful for you, and be constantly thinking about your kit. And it's really fun. Like, he completely takes control over the battlefield, and he just...
Extraction is ready.
Like, this place, this room is my room now. This is my room now, bitch. Oh, come on, get Tesla Nerboed. Enjoy. Oh, he's really so good. I love it so much. Even though it forces you to armor strip every single enemy. It's like you're getting a reward. You're charging the dopamine.
Your best option.
For every single second you're waiting on his 4, you're charging the dopamine, and then you release all of it with your 3, and it's like, yeah, they're getting armor strip. I can see it. Now they have the Tesla Nervos. And now it's like, boom! I love it. Also the fact that he
Support capsule.
hops on the air while launching the grenades,
Consider extraction.
and every single part of his kit is a grenade. So that means he can still keep moving around while using his shit. He's... Oh my god, I love him. I love him. I love him so much. And yeah, we should probably leave right now. If I don't fall to the goddamn floor, of course. And there's only one other detail that I'm not completely sure about with this build. And is that, I mean, he can get armor. And I'm not getting that much use out of it because I haven't invested in health with him. So maybe a top forge fragment of health would be beneficial to make use of his armor. I don't know, but like, listen, if you're not playing every single day for 12 hours, you don't have enough resources to have a overinvested build for every single video. It's completely unfeasible. I don't have that big of a stockpile of top 4 shards or anything like that, and it is what it is. I wish I had, but there's no way for me to get them in a timely manner. Like, not even a pay-to-win way. Like, oh, I'm gonna make an investment for my channel and buy, like, 40 Archon shards or something like that. There's no way for me to get all that shit. And sometimes Netro cells are a bitch, and they don't drop anything. I did 3 straight yesterday with a friend, not one single shard. Not a single one. So yeah, this is Boban. This is Boban, and yeah, you need to use every single part on his kit to be able to survive. Every single part. And arguably would be even better with 2 augments, which says a lot. But yeah, he needs to invest primarily on range, he needs some duration, he needs some strength, and a way to survive. And if you have all that, you can completely lock down a room, and for every enemy that goes into that room, something terrible will happen. In a different way. So, that's Boban. I like him a lot, and he clearly is like a C-tier Warframe. He clearly is. But in my heart, he's an A. In my heart, he's an A. Welcome back to the channel. Next one will be probably more scripted, and we'll have a better idea behind it.
Audience wonders, what are you
And I need to start working again on that guide, on that modding guide. So, that will be all. See you later, boys.